All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Wise Guys NFL Week 6 betting angles and best bets. My name is Kevin Allen from Sharp App, and I've got the man with the plan himself, Anthony Gargano, cuz with me to break down all the games for NFL Week 6. What's up, my man?
Your name's not Kevin Allen.
The Geek.
You're
There's only one
Geek,
name.
all right? You're one
Only
name.
one.
Stop with the Kevin Allen. You're just Geek, all right?
I accept it.
Like Prince, Madonna, Geek.
There's
That's how
only
we
one.
roll here.
There's only one.
That's it.
We are the Wise Guys. I consider myself the consigliere of this. You are the Don. I'm the consigliere, taking advice, giving a little advice. But I defer to the Don for all things.
You know, you always got to defer to the Don.
Always
All
defer
right.
to the Don. At this point, I've lost so many
Listen, you
Butler
should have.
bets.
But listen, after our Butler bet, I was
Oh
about to
no,
say that. You know,
I gotta
I'm
win
gonna
some of
have
these.
you. The poor girls, right? Your poor wife and daughters. You're gonna be at my house. I'm gonna have to call your wife and go. Listen, he lost himself to me. All right. So now Kevin, or we know Mr. Geek, is now my official catcher. So when Massimo needs to pitch, my son, he's gonna pitch to you.
I got it.
Oh, Geek, Mossy needs to pitch.
All right.
Oh, Geek, I would like a martini,
I
extra
plan.
olives.
I plan to come back. We got a long season. There's a lot more
You
bets
got
ahead.
a lot of work to do, guys.
You got lucky. Daniel Jones gets hurt. Saquon Barkley.
Lucky.
What is up with Saquon Barkley? At some point, the man is brittle. Like I was just thinking this. Like you could, it's a freak
It's a
accident.
shame. It's a horrific injury too.
A freak accident. At some point, it's too many freak accidents, and you have to say you're brittle. You know who never gets in a freak accident? Derrick Henry. That
No.
dude, if he steps on
Oh,
your
he's a
ankle,
beast, dude. He's a
you
beast.
you break your ankle. He doesn't break his
Sure.
ankle stepping on your ankle. He breaks your ankle
Yeah.
when he
Yeah.
steps on it.
I
That's
mean,
the difference.
he also is not brittle. Nick Chubb.
Yeah, that dude is always
Chubb,
out
Chubb,
there.
Chubb.
Yeah,
Chubb,
he is
Chubb rolls.
always out there. Never a Q tag.
Mm-mm.
Never a question.
Q
He's
tag.
going to be playing.
Never.
You got Dalvin Cook. He's always hurt. You got Christian McCaffrey. Can't get on the field. Saquon Barkley, a whole career worth of injuries. And all we got is Derrick Henry out there just putting up 3 touchdowns, 150 yards. I'm like,
Yeah.
good.
I mean, here's the thing. Saquon hurt is still better than Miles Sanders, the other
Yeah,
running
Michael
back.
Sanders, it never started with that guy. He doesn't even have an excuse of getting hurt. He's healthy. And
What's
he
my
sucks.
point? He don't get the ball. Oh, it's bad. It's bad.
It's brutal, and that running back situation. And they don't like to run the football, and the Eagles do not like to run the football.
No. And
Not with
then
the running backs.
and it's not going to happen this week against Tampa Bay.
No, you're better off not running that football against Tampa. But I don't know what's going on with these players, the injuries. Saquon, I mean, that ankle puffed up like there was a tennis ball in it in 10 seconds.
When you pump the air and it just yeah, it did. It was nasty, man. It was nasty.
I've twisted my ankle like that. I didn't get a tennis ball in it.
You never rolled your ankle and it just blows up.
I've rolled my ankle and it's like, all right, 5 minutes later, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You
maybe
must
not
not
as hard as that.
really rolled your ankle.
Yeah, maybe not as hard as that. Maybe it wasn't quite like Saquon.
Yeah, nah. You and Saquon slightly different.
I don't roll I break ankles. I break other people's ankles. I don't get my ankle broken. Derrick Henry style. Break your ankle. Who am I kidding? I got hurt playing badminton the other day. It's badminton. How do you get hurt playing badminton? Like,
well, yeah. Well, the girls schooled you. How much money did you lose playing badminton to the girls? They take you for
it's always
few
for
hundred.
$1. I don't do anything if it's not for $1.
No,
every game we play Yahtzee. We play rummy every night. There is card games going in my house, and it's always for $1.
Did I tell you about Joe Magooch?
No.
I never told you about Joe Magooch?
Joe Magooch. No.
Joe Magooch. Joe Magooch was a guy. He's a lot like you. he loved to play anything for money.
Gotta be
All
fun.
right, anything for money. Now Joe McGoach, when you would shake his hand, it was weird because he had 3 fingers on one hand and 2 on the other. Plus he had both thumbs, but he had 3 fingers. Like so, you would shake his hand, right? His right hand, and it was like this, right? And then the other hand, he had 2 fingers, and it was like he had this finger and the
Wait,
pinky,
what happened to the
and
fingers?
he was so Joe McGoach he lost fingers playing cards.
Oh no.
Yeah, and in the bar, it was called Don't Pass, and in the bar they would keep this one dude
Wait, they
kept
kept
his
chopping his fingers
fingers
off when he lost
in
money?
in the formaldehyde behind
Oh
the
my
bar.
god.
He kept the fingers.
That's a hardcore gambler right there. We
He
need
bet
to
the fingers
interview
for
Joe
Joe
McGoach.
McGoach.
Can we get him on a show for an interview? I want to talk to that man and
He's
ask him
around.
about his life. That's
Joe
somebody who's
McGoach is a fascinating dude.
that's a guy you want to know his life story. Just
Mhm.
like tell me where it all began, Joe McGoach. I want to know from the
State
beginning.
line, South Philadelphia. We could do a podcast on Joe McGoach.
We need Joe McGoach on a future Wise Guys, just asking him about his life. I want to know.
I'll give you once a week. I'll give you a character. All right.
I want to know.
These are real
after-
characters that I know of growing up. All right.
I feel like after the first finger, you're like,
So all told, he lost 3.
but like he went back for more after the first finger was taken, and he's like,
Yeah, he
"All
lost
right,
3.
I'm gonna
2
play
on one
more."
hand and 1 on the other. He
Yeah.
had both thumbs though.
This reminds
which
me
is
of
good.
Uncut Gems. It's Uncut Gems all over again, like a sick motherfucker just gambling.
Well, you play cards, stuff happens. So, I got to play for you for tomorrow night.
That's what I want to hear.
All
That's
right.
what I want to hear. We got Bucks tomorrow night. We
Yeah,
got the
Eagles and
52
Buccaneers.
points. Big total. Surprisingly,
Yeah, I don't like the total. I think it's too high. but
52 and a half.
yeah, I think it's too high.
All right. Bucks
kinda like the under.
Bucks road favorite, 7-point road favorite. Tom Brady styling, throwing touchdowns. Just that one game when I bet
Now
him.
you saw his hands blown up though.
Yeah, he's got the messed up He's got the messed up hand. One thing about Brady, he needs things, he needs that grip. He needs that
Yeah.
grip. If he can't get the grip, got to take a little air out the ball, get the grip.
Yeah. So you're right. You're right. I have an interesting play because when you look at this game, it's funny. There's a guy I respect a lot. He's a sharp guy. He's on the Eagles tomorrow night, and
Really?
he thinks the Eagles are live, which I don't know how. When you X and O it, here's what I do know. Now, the Eagles' defensive line can make something happen in the interior part because Hargrave is playing great. Fletcher Cox playing great. Tampa's line is a little vulnerable up the middle. So that's the only prayer. So if you really want to bet the game, here's my advice. You bet in game because you'll know within 5 minutes if the Eagles front is getting pressure up the middle, then they're live. Then you bet them. If they're not, it's a route piece. But here's the one thing, whether they get pressure or not, Godwin and Antonio Brown are live. Okay? Both those guys are live. Slay will be on Evans. All right? So Antonio Brown, who has been really hot, you saw last week he caught a bunch. He's going up against Maddox, right? So Maddox is their nickel corner. He will school him all day long. And Godwin has a really great matchup. I just don't know which one is going to get the majority. I kind of think Godwin and he's plus 850 to score 2 touchdowns. Antonio's plus 750 to score 2 touchdowns. So you know how we do the pizza bet? Right? Yeah. You bet both.
Little pizza bet on both. 2 touchdowns.
Right. Yeah. And I think
there's no Gronk to take the 2 touchdowns.
Well, exactly. There's no Gronk, right? And they're going to have a great advantage against the Eagles secondary. So I actually think Godwin hasn't really eaten yet, and I think he can eat. I think, I think Antonio's the obvious. I mean, he's out of the slot. He's been ridiculous. He looks great. So I would play both of them. I could see one of them getting the 2 touchdown tag. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it's funny, and Hunter's making a good point. Like, isn't it funny that Antonio Brown is now the number 3 guy? He's getting the worst corner. This is Antonio Brown, a guy who if you were Jalen Ramsey 3 years ago, you'd have a hard time covering Antonio Brown and shutting him down. Now he's getting like the worst guy. So he's been tearing it up. He's been tearing it up every week.
Well, I mean, because they're working him out of the slot.
Now, what about the Eagles' offense? We've seen, now you got Goddard. He's probably out.
Yeah, COVID.
So
He's not going to play.
We've got like a Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
No Yak Ertz.
No Yak Zach. Yeah. Listen, this is going to be one you can't run on Tampa. Not that the Eagles like to run, because that's their issue, right?
Yeah, Eagles
they don't run. So Devontae Smith is a star. I mean, that kid's just a star. So he's a guy you're going to look at. Let's look at his receiving props for the game, because I would play him all day long. So if you look at Devontae, over 71.5 yards is a lot, but he's the guy that's going to get a lot of the action. Where's my man Quez? Quez 42.5. That's the one you play. Over Quez Watkins, 42.5 yards. Write that down.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with the 70 on
That's
Smith
a lot.
all.
That's high.
And I was going to ask you about Quez. Quez really looks like the number 2 wide receiver on this team with Jalen Reagor.
Well, they work Jalen out of the slot.
So he just does not get targets, man. They don't like Jalen at all.
Well, he can't run a route. That's his problem. Quez Watkins, I love this kid. I was saying it last year. I wanted to see him. He's got elite speed, and he's a football player. You know these speed guys, half of them are football players. This kid's a football player. He'll go up and get the ball. He's got good hands. He runs a nice route. I love Quez Watkins. Let me tell you, the biggest problem, and I love Jalen as a kid. He's like he's a terrific, in a city that has to deal with Ben Simmons, right?
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is like, he's like a lovable kid. Like he's like the opposite of Simmons. The problem is he doesn't have that arm. Like you saw Wentz Monday night dart them down the field. That's the shame, is that if we could transplant Wentz's arm on Jalen's body, he'd be Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I mean that's why you got him in the second round, and I have seen some underthrows, some overthrows. You don't want to judge too hard based on listen. There's some other young quarterbacks that look way worse than Jalen Hurts right now.
Yeah, but it's not about like Zach Wilson has an NFL arm, right? See, the problem with Jalen is, can he make those big chunk throws? That's the big question. He's a leg thrower, and he can get the ball down the field when he's got space and he can actually see it. Like you got to move the pocket, get him space so he can gather himself and throw the ball down the field. So he can do that. But you know what I mean? Those Wentz throws where you're throwing outs and they got to be rockets, he can't make that throw. That's the problem.
I'm trying to see here. Antonio Brown first score plus 1,000. I'm looking at Fournette.
What's Godwin?
Plus 800.
What's Godwin?
Godwin is plus 1,000 first score.
Godwin. This is a good time to feed Godwin if you're Brady.
I don't think so. Hunter's asking about for the showdown tomorrow night. Does Philly run out more Gainwell to help? Yes. Like Gainwell's a way better play than Sanders tomorrow.
Yes.
Way better.
Well, one, Tampa is better against the run. And two, Hunter, you're right. Gainwell runs great routes. I mean, he could play slot receiver for you, right? So he's a great route runner. They trust him. I mean, you saw it. Look, I mean, you saw what Sanders did at the end of the game against Carolina. He ran out of bounds twice. So they don't trust him.
Such a moron.
They're trying to burn clock, and he ran out of bounds twice. In
this case, it's more matchup based anyway. You don't run into the heart of the Tampa defense. You don't run up the gut on the Bucs. It's impossible to be successful at it. No team has been successful at it. You always fade running backs. Gainwell is exactly the guy that you want to play here. So yeah, I mean, he's a great. I don't know what the salary is.
But seeing your showdown, I would play more Quez.
Quez, baby. That's the nuts. The nuts play tomorrow night. Quez Watkins. He's been good. They do target him. And I think the play is to accept that Slay will be on Evans. Evans has been the man for the Bucs for the most part of the season since Gronk went down. Grady likes a big guy. He has not had a big game this year yet with Godwin, but let's not forget he had a lot of big games last year with Godwin, and it's the same people, the same offense, everything the same. So Godwin's breakout is just waiting to happen. So I'm with that play. I think matchup wise it works. And
hey, to Hunters, I just looked it up on DraftKings in the showdown. Gainwell's 2,400.
Yeah, that's going to be a play. That's going to be a big play tomorrow. You'll have a lot of Gainwell. A lot of Gainwell. He's going to be very popular. And Quez, I don't know what the salary is on Quez, but
4,600.
Yeah, so you can afford whatever you want. When you get those two, now you can get Brady and Hurts in the lineup. Now you can get Brown and maybe even Godwin together. You can do a lineup with all of that group, especially if you put Gainwell at captain. You have the balls. Got to have fucking
like
cojones.
Like the Geek.
Huge huevos.
52, man. It feels high to me.
Yeah, I can see taking the under here. I'm concerned about Brady's busted throwing hand. They might lean on Fournette a little bit more than they normally do.
Eagles are decent against the run, though.
No.
The only reason why they got gashed, listen to me. The only reason why they got gashed early in the season, the first few games of the season, is they were playing 6 and 7 men in the box. So if he plays it straight up, now I don't know, he may do that again.
Brady's been tearing shit up with his arm. I would imagine they're going to go in with.
But if his hand, again, I all about the hand, right? Like you should know. I'm telling you, watch the game, bet in game. You'll get your answer early. You just got to pay attention. You'll get your answer early. If Brady's laboring, right? If he's laboring, and if the Eagles are getting pressure up the middle.
Yeah. Grab that Eagles bet. All right. I like it.
You know what you want? You don't want to do one more showdown. You might want to play the Eagles defense. Sounds stupid, but if Brady's hurt, it's probably not an idea to play a few of your lineups with that.
That would take a real fucked up hand situation for Brady.
I agree. I'm just again, I'm trying to think of you and the Millie Maker.
That's how you win the Millie. You don't win the Millie this past weekend? Somebody played Geno Smith in the flex. On that, I'm telling you, somebody played Geno Smith in the flex in that game where Russ got hurt. And fucking Geno Smith got enough to be the nuts play. The guy won $500,000. It happened again.
What? What was his salary?
It was cheap. It was $6,000. Whatever it was, it didn't matter. They played Geno Smith just in case Russ got hurt.
That's insane, man.
And he got hurt. And the rest of the lineup was good enough.
That's insane. That's insane, dude. Incredible.
Yeah. 2 years.
Geno Smith. Wow. Incredible.
How many showdowns do we have? 80 showdowns a year times 2 years. So it's been 2 and 2. That means once a year, that could be the nuts play. And that's how you win $500K.
Not bad. All right, let's move on. Dolphins and Jaguars. Miami's giving 3 to Jacksonville. That's your London game. So you can wake up Saturday morning. This line appears light to me. I mean, it's only 3. Miami stinks. Tua stinks. Do you like Tua? I don't like Tua.
No. Tua sucks.
Not that Jacksonville is.
Two bad teams. We got a couple of really bad teams here. I kind of wish this game was on the main slate. The fact that it's that Sunday 9:30 a.m. game, it takes it away. There's a couple of pieces here for fantasy that I'm interested in, just because these teams are bad.
Robinson.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course Robinson. I fucking love Robinson in this game, and even Miles Gaskin. You might be able to go back to that, but definitely the Jacksonville offense is interesting here from a fantasy point of view. Um, Lawrence, I would play Lawrence fine. He looks better every week. He looks the part. Still got a pretty shitty coaching staff that he's working with. I think the game planning is not very good. Last week they threw to some guy. They have Laviska Shenault there. They got Marvin Jones Jr. There's a third guy there. They threw 8 times to this other random guy. Can't remember his name, but I was like, what the fuck are they doing out there? Not enough. I mean, Robinson was great. One thing they've started to do is lean heavy on Robinson, which is good. And I will say, when Tua comes back, Jalen Waddle and Tua had a nice little connection early in the season. I think that will return for this one. So I like the fantasy implications. As far as a bet, man, these London games, I don't like betting on them at all.
No, they're always bad
Weird.
matchups too. They're bad matchups. There's no edge in this game. That's the problem.
I don't like it. And plus, the shit gets weird in London. Some teams treat it like a vacation. They're going to see Big Ben. They're out eating fish and chips,
Yeah,
having fried cod the night before. I'm like,
going to East London.
yeah, they're
hanging
like touring
around East London.
Like
Yeah.
it's not conducive. And then it's a weird time for them. So these games, I stay away from it. It's too weird for me. And yes, Tua should be back. Yeah, it was last year with Mariota and happened again, Bobby Allen. It happened again. It's crazy. Next up, what do we got next?
And Washington. Dude,
I mean, best game of the slate.
Yeah.
Best one.
Yeah, I like Kansas City in the game. I think they come back. They have to win. They're going to be desperate to win, and I don't think Washington keep up with them. And again, that front has been disappointing for Washington. I could see it all day long. I think they have I love Kansas City. I'll lay the 6.5.
I'm trying to see if I can find the line for a little bit cheaper than even 6.5. But I mean, yeah. Why is it only 5, 6.5? Yeah, or was it 5.5? I think it's gone up. So this line has been moving.
I'm seeing 6.5.
I thought I saw 5.5 when it opened, but I need to check a chart. But yeah, I mean, you got to let angry Mahomes. He's got to
angry
win.
Andy.
It's got to.
I mean, they got to win.
It's a must win.
Yeah.
I really like the running back for DFS purposes. Darrell Williams, Darrell, whichever D Williams is on the Chiefs at this point. It's one of the Williams brothers.
Yeah.
Darrell, Damian, one of them. And on Washington, I mean, I love this game. This is the game to be excited for in daily fantasy this week. I know, but I was saying angry Mahomes, but this is it. Now he's got Washington. Washington's good, but they're not great. They're just
look what Mahomes did to the Eagles. He carved the Eagles up.
Yeah.
So he's going to carve Washington up.
No, I think that's an easy one. And once again, if there's a live betting situation, in this case, if Washington scores the first touchdown by some miracle, and then the Chiefs are down 7, and
load up.
Anything like that. The more down they are, like if they're down 10 and I'm getting like a +1 because even in the first quarter, you're only getting like a +1, I load up on that spot. They will come back. Yep. So I'll watch this game, but I think you can just hit it. I agree with you, Anthony. You can hit this at -6.5, no problem.
Yep.
And yeah, you're going to get angry Mahomes. It's just a much better.
I just don't think they can keep up. Again, I'm not in love with, you don't make a living taking favorites on the road, right? But there's certain matchups. Again, Washington can't keep up. I don't care what you tell me about the Chiefs defense. Washington cannot keep up with Kansas City.
To keep up with Kansas City, they need a dominant running game. That's not the style of running game that I think we have out of Washington. Antonio Gibson's good, but he's a little more finesse right now. He hasn't, a Derrick Henry type running back can keep Mahomes off the field.
Yeah.
That approach, or what you saw with the Ravens when they played, a lot of running, a lot of keep them off the field. That can do it. Washington doesn't, and Washington only has one weapon to throw to. It's only Terry McLaurin. You can't even name anybody else on that team. They're all hurt.
It's funny because the next game is kind of the same thing, right? I always when you look at matchups, you look at teams with like really good offense. Like, look, Chicago's got a great defense, a good defense. But I look at this game and I go, the Justin Fields can't keep up with Rodgers. So, you could buy it down to 3 if you want, but I like Green Bay a lot. I mean, look, you pay a little juice, you buy it down to 3. To me, it's an XL bet laying 3.
Yeah, I feel that. I think, I was looking at this game from a fantasy perspective or just how the matchup's going to go. First of all, it doesn't help Chicago that Montgomery isn't in this one. And D. Williams, the other D. Williams, the Bears version, he's fine. Khalil Herbert splitting touches, but it's not the same. Like if they had Montgomery, they have a bit of a dominant back that could potentially control this game for some period of time. They don't have it. Fields, one thing I am looking forward to in this game is Fields is not going to be able to pull this shenanigans that he's been pulling the last few weeks. No disrespect, they're winning the games. But, my man is throwing the ball like 16 attempts.
I agree.
19 attempts. So and he's not even running it. He's just, he's relying on the running game and the defense. You can't do that here. So we're going to see the real Fields in this game. Somebody compared him to who's the guy on the Steelers, the backup. Washington drafted him. Ohio State quarterback.
Oh, really?
Yeah, somebody, and I just think they hate,
No.
It's a college hater guy, Haskins.
Yeah, Dwayne Haskins,
man. I hope not.
Oh my God, no!
I really hope not. I don't think so. Not RG3 Haskins.
Oh my God, I don't believe that.
I don't think so either. I think he's the real deal. But we're gonna find out this week.
Ew.
Haskins is so bad. But
we're gonna RG3.
RG3. He looked good for a minute.
Because they ran that offense, college stuff. Like that was the first spread offense, right? Comes out of Baylor. He was a guy that just ran that spread offense. I mean, look, Saturdays started to creep into the NFL during that era. I mean, Shanahan used it, was smart, got him hurt, but I mean that was smart.
It worked for a little bit, and then.
All right, now here's the next one, and again, there's only one side you can look. Like you can't bet the Giants. Like there's no way. Like to me, stay away. But if you're going to bet one side, you can't look at the Giants. You can only look at the Rams. I mean, that team is so banged up. The Rams. 10 points. They're laying 9.5. And now I'm not anxious to lay points on the road, but I couldn't back the Giants.
I don't even know if Daniel Jones is going to be playing at this point. It's Wednesday night, as we're recording.
I'm going to say he is playing, right? And he may not, like you said. But let's go on the premise that he is playing. Do you believe that Daniel Jones is going to be able to keep up at all with Stafford?
It's not so much to keep up with Stafford. It's that Rams defense is really good. So
that's my point to you.
Yeah.
Now, listen, I love Tony. Tony is phenomenal.
Everybody hated Tony, and now everybody loves Tony.
Well, he looks incredible. I didn't like the pick either. I thought
no one liked the pick. No,
because you needed to protect. You needed an offensive lineman. Listen, I like Kadarius Toney, but did it make sense to go spend your first round pick on Kadarius Toney and spend all that money on Galladay?
The Galladay was the worst.
Horrible.
That was bad. That was bad. That is the one they're going to regret.
Yes,
that's the one they're going to regret.
Horrible.
Big regrets. But Kadarius Toney, no one liked this guy, and I can attest to this because in the preseason, one of the things we said about Kadarius Toney was the only thing he's got going for him is the fact that people are so down on him that you actually are getting him after 4th and 5th round wide receivers, even in dynasty leagues. Like Amon-Ra St. Brown was going ahead of Kadarius Toney.
Wow.
And we're like, dude, at some point, respect the draft capital. I have a lot of Kadarius Toney because of that reason.
Do you really?
Yes.
That's why you're the Geek.
I got him all over the place. And I held my nose, and I don't take any credit. I went like this, and I said, I don't like this kid. I don't like what I heard about him, but I'm not taking some 4th round rookie in my best ball league ahead of a guy who's a 1st round pedigree on a team that doesn't have a lot going on at wide receiver. I was like, I'm just going to go. I'm going to hold my nose. Now, I hope he's back because he fucking crushed it for me the last 2 weeks. And I'm like, holy shit, I can't believe that was that piece in your fantasy team that you had no hope for. I didn't even have a real hope. I just said, you know what? A first round pick. He's going. Why am I going to take a fifth rounder instead of a first? I'll take the first round guy. There's something to draft capital. Like they're going to try to make it work because they'd be embarrassed. The only team where you can't fucking trust the draft capital is the Eagles. Man,
Yes.
they suck at picking wide receivers. That's why I didn't trust Devonta Smith. I'm like,
try being in Philadelphia.
Oh, I mean, Aguilar, Rager, JJ Arcega-Whiteside. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing over there at wide receiver?
Yeah, horrible. I mean, to pass up Jefferson, could you imagine that?
Oh, remember? Wait, Matthews. What the hell was his first name? He turned into a tight end. Like,
yeah, no, he didn't play tight end, but yeah, it was funny because he was a guy who had he's got great hands. He came out of Vanderbilt, all right, and he was a great kid. He was actually when my old house we were living, he was my neighbor, and he was a great kid, but he was
Jordan. There it is, Jordan Matthews. Matthews.
Yeah, he was a great kid, Vanderbilt kid. They also took another guy in the first round. He was actually a second round pick, and they took a kid who was a defensive end who was so bad, right? They couldn't play. He lasted a year, and they had to cut him.
You know where that GM went?
He's still here.
No, that other Joe Douglas, Jets.
Yeah, but Howie's still in Philadelphia.
We got that guy. No, Howie, yes, but we got the head scout. He's working for us now.
He's not.
I don't know if he's bad. I'm not ripping him, but
yeah,
the Eagles are poison for wide receivers. So we'll see if Devonta Smith.
Devonta Smith's legit. They got it right. They got it right with Devonta Smith.
What are we up to next? What do we got?
Chargers, Ravens.
One of my favorite games of the week to watch. The one that I'm probably most excited about, and I think the under the radar. I don't know if it's under the radar. Yeah, this is a play to the over game for me. I like the over 51.5 total. We saw what Herbert can do. We've seen that this.
I like the Chargers.
Chargers getting 3. If it was the Ravens plus 3, I'd go for the Ravens. Whichever team is getting the points is the one to get here. I love the Chargers, the bet. I agree with you 1,000,000%.
They pulled out that game. No business pulling out that game.
The Ravens.
Baltimore. No business pulling out that game.
No, they did. But you saw something in that offense that reminded you that it could be really, really good. If Lamar is not choosing to run as much as he has in the past this year, I feel like it's almost the spiteful standing in the pocket trying to deliver. Like I see open running lanes in front of him and I see him standing there and I'm like, man, where's Lamar from last year that could just take off? So I feel like he's almost toying with things at times, like trying to be, hey, I can do this from the pocket. Almost toying with us.
Yeah, I will say this. That game, it took a turn when they lost their whole backfield. Their backfield got completely annihilated with injury. I mean, nobody can cover it. They were down cornerbacks. You saw it. What do you think Herbert's going to do with Mike Williams? What do you think of Keenan Allen? Are you serious? Like, I love the Chargers in this game.
Everything about him. Austin Eckler is looking like what we thought Christian McCaffrey was.
You want 3? I'll lay 3 to you, and I'll make it a Butler bet. You want to do that?
No, I don't want. No, I'm with you on this side. I 100% am on the Chargers in this one.
I'll give you 3. You can have the Ravens. I'll give you 3.
Stop trying to make me your freaking butt. No, I will choose the Butler bets. I got to win the next one. Hell no. But no, I like the Charger side of this game, and I agree. I actually think this is more of the AG special where you lay the points. You not only take the Chargers, you don't even bother taking the 3. You could take the money line and just straight take the money line. You might even do, like you said, the +3. What's the +3? What's the
ready?
What's the line there?
If I lay 3 with the Chargers, 2-1.
2-1. There we go.
+200.
What about laying 7?
If I lay, so here's what I got to do. To lay 7, I got to do this. Hold on. I got to look it up. I got to do the winning margin. So the winning margin for this game is if I go 7-12 plus 600.
I wish it was 6-12. If you can get the 6 in there,
That's 7-12 plus
7 to
600.
12.
Dude,
Still,
minus, how about this? For the Chargers to win 13-18 plus 1,300.
pizza money.
It's not a bad pizza bet.
Pizza money.
Yep, not a
Yeah.
bad pizza bet.
7 is a lot. So the way I recommend doing these, you start with the money with the you start taking the points, right? You put that's the one you want to focus on because just win that bet. Make sure that the other bet, the Chargers
Yeah,
money line,
you want to
is
use like
covered.
so 5 units, depending on what it is. If you play more, if your unit size is smaller, you play 5 units. If it's bigger, you play 2 units, and then you back it up with the pizza bet stuff for like a half a unit or a quarter unit, something really small. So you're gonna
win
make sure
way.
you're gonna have a profit.
Yeah, you need to profit if the +3 hits, and then
Right.
you could fuck around with the profit money for the big hit. That's when we get when Joe McGosh. They're waiting for the show. We got to do it.
Joe Magosh.
Joe McGosh. All right. So yeah, I love that side of the game, but I want to say for DFS purposes and just for fantasy purposes, this game stands out massively. 2 quarterbacks that can do it, that can score at will. Marquise Brown, amazing this year. Everything connected to Herbert has been spectacular. Eckler, I don't mind all of it. I want a lot of exposure to this game. Betting fingers, man. Should Joe Magosh put a pinky on the line for the Chargers? That's the ultimate bet. Put a pinky
I might do that. I like it. I like it a lot. It's a pinky bet. We'll go on the Butler bet and the pinky bet, right?
The pinky bet is your biggest of all the bets.
Yeah, sure. Let's keep going. I'll tell you, you're gonna laugh at me. I've been on the Bengals the last few weeks. I like Detroit plus 3.5.
Really?
Yeah. I think they can win the game, to be honest with you.
Is this the time when that shitty team faces another just okay team? They're at home. Is this that game? The letdown game for the Bengals?
Yeah.
Bengals missing field goals left and right. Still cashed your bet, 3.5. Let's not fuck around. Another Anthony Gargano cash last week. XXL. Almost didn't, though. Almost didn't. A little scary.
Yeah, it's a shame because the line, when we told you last Wednesday, actually it was Thursday if you remember, the Bengals were plus 3.5, and it moved all the way to game day. They were laying 2.5. So it's a shame for
one of the most
important
important things. You just hit like one of the most important things that we talk about all the time. Number one, making sure you get the best line, because the difference between 2.5, 3, and 3.5 is a lot. Like a lot of money was changed. If you got 2.5, you lost $100. You got 3, you pushed, and if you got 3.5, you made 100. You got your 100 back, so you made 200. It's a $200 swing. So it's so important, A, not to wait till the last second if you could beat those closing lines, and B, to compare lines across books. That's the nice thing about the Sharp app, where you can really quickly see what the best line is and what book that's at.
I mean, I love this Sharp app. I tell everybody, like, listen, we always have fun with the games, and we're doing it, and I tell everybody to download the Sharp app, and it just is going to help you make money over the long haul. Like, look, everything's about tools, right? Everything in life that you need. I love to write, your tools. You have your tools. You need to have the Sharp app. You're going to bet a game. You need to have Sharp app. If you want to bet at all, please get it.
And so many things being added, by the way. We're going to have betting handles in there in the next couple weeks. We added line movement charts this week, so you can see all the movement.
Yeah, that's really good.
We've added in the game center. In the next update, we're going to have a little graphic display of where the game is at, what's going on, where the football is. So making the game center experience better.
That's awesome.
Kind of getting the feel for it and being like, oh, you know what I want? Basically, everything we're adding to it is like shit that just I want. I'm like, oh, I really want to be able to see this, and I want
that's awesome.
So it's a constant process for us, but all we ask, guys, is download it, leave a nice review if you like it.
It's
track your
awesome.
bets in there. Use
It's
it.
so cool,
Yeah.
man. It really is. It's awesome.
Um,
All right,
what's
let's
next?
keep going.
Oh, Lions. You said Lions and Bengals.
Yeah,
So,
I told you I like the Lions outright.
yeah. All right. Listen,
I'll take them
home.
plus 3.5, and
Anytime you can get points at home, they're a healthy team. I don't know how the Lions score really. I think the Bengals offense is interesting from a fantasy point of view this week. I think this whole game is a little interesting from a fantasy point of view, but I'm not going to go against it. You've been right on the Bengals. You've got that team. You've basically made that team your bitch this year. Your betting bitch. So I'm not going to question
it's
that.
a BB, baby. They're
Yeah,
my
it's a betting
BB.
bitch. Yeah, fuck that. I don't know if I'm pulling the trigger though, Anthony. I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger.
Well, all right, listen. Okay, here's my advice. There's a lot of great games to bet. That's not one of them. But I think it's a spot. And I wouldn't mess around with taking, money lines. I would just bet the 3.5. I think they're live. I think it's a bad spot for Cincinnati. And I'm telling you, I could see that game I could see Cincinnati win that game 24-23. Like I love them plus the 3.5. Don't screw around with anything more because you can't trust the Lions. But I really do like the Lions. I think it's a good match. It's a perfect spot for them against Cincinnati.
There we go. I like it. What's
All right.
next?
Speaking of another one, another home dog, my man Matt Rule plus 1.5 against the Vikings. Look, McCaffrey should be back.
50-50. I'm getting a 50-50 chance. I don't like it.
I think he should be back. But again, we'll find out come game day. At home, they squandered that game. Matt was pissed. I talked to him after the game. He was pissed. They squandered that game. They had the game won. They had chance after chance after chance, and they blew it. They let the Eagles hang around, and then all of a sudden you get a block punt. Then you're at the 27-yard line, and you lose the game. And that one stung.
I'm not going to lie. There was a little bit of old school Darnold going on in that game.
Oh, he was horrible.
He looked like
He was
the Darnold I know and love from the Jets days.
Yeah, he stunk.
He was really bad.
He was terrible. Absolutely awful in that game. But, they're at home. Minnesota, out of the dome. What'd you hear about Cook?
Dalvin Cook, I think he's practicing. He's a little sketchy. I think they might let him rest a week and then just go into the bye and come back fully healthy. I don't think they need him out there with Madison doing what he's doing. Or we could get that horrible half and half version like we saw with Mixon and the Bengals. The worst case scenario for fantasy purposes, the injured guy that they're going to play a little bit but not too much. That's a fantasy disaster. Mm-hmm. So I from my point of view, and I only care about fantasy scoring for the most part, you can't play Cook at all in daily fantasy. He's too expensive. In your season-long league, even if he starts, he's going to be a sketchy play. I don't think that Cook is going to be enough of a factor here. I also don't think McCaffrey gets in there a full workload. I kind of think that they.
Oh, I agree. I'm with you. I just like the spot. Minnesota out of the dome in Carolina. I think it's a Carolina play. I think
they don't have
coming off of last week, I could see Cousins turn the ball over. I mean, Carolina's defense is good. I mean, you saw what they did. I mean, they shut the Eagles' offense down for most of the game.
I don't see anybody on the Vikings that's going to be able to cover DJ Moore. They don't have that kind of cornerback.
Yeah, it's Darius Slay. The Eagles have Darius Slay.
The Eagles had Slay, and he did a good job shutting him down.
Yeah, he did.
Darius Slay cannot be. Darius Slay for a minute was kind of like not being looked at as elite anymore, but he stepped up his game this year. He's actually rated really well.
Why?
I assume I don't know. He got paid, and then he was lazy for a minute, and now he's back. He's healthy. I don't know.
It's just about the defense. They refuse to play him what he wants to do. That's man. He's great at man coverage. You don't need to, he shouldn't be. He's a guy you don't put in his zone scheme. And they didn't. Schwartz, who was the defensive coordinator, didn't use him properly. He went scheme over the player. And the same thing happened with Jonathan Gannon, how they played him. He's a press man corner. He's a guy that's going to guard you like a basketball. like in basketball.
I like those situations for fantasy because if I know I've got an elite man corner that's going to shadow, kind of the way we think will happen tomorrow with Evans, I can adjust for that. I can make adjustments and get a sense of, all right, the team's going to go to a different spot. So in this case, though, Carolina Vikings don't have somebody like that. I'm looking for DJ Moore again to have another, 13 target kind of situation.
I like that.
There are some.
And you watch Darnold's going to have a much better game.
Yeah, he's going to focus in on his one guy. That's what he does.
I agree. I like Carolina a lot. So
there we go.
Lay the points, baby.
Only
this could be a nasty piece, right?
Which one are we looking at?
No, this game could be. Let's see, Panthers.
I mean, it's 46.5 total. Vikings 1-point road favorite.
If I laid 7 with Carolina, I get plus 290.
That's not as much as I'd want. 290 plus 300.
You're a greedy bastard, aren't you?
No, if I'm gonna, I'd rather just get the +1 and take the win, unless they're gonna give me, some real serious juice for giving up
290s. He sneezed at 290.
I want to see. I want the 8 plus 800.
All right. Well, then you got to go to the game margin. That's my look. I tell you about it. All right. Game of the day, Geek, is in Cleveland. Arizona and the Browns. Oh, do I love Arizona. Oh, the Cardinals, Geek.
They're getting points. They're
getting 3, and everybody's going to go, all right, well, Arizona's not that good. They're going to come down to earth. They're going to be in Cleveland. Baker, meanwhile, is banged up. I like me some Cardinals. And the Cardinals are really good.
Playing good defense this year, which
they're a good team.
They hadn't been playing good defense last season. They really stepped it up. They've stepped up on the defensive side of the football. Kyler Murray has turned into, having a couple of extra weapons really made a massive difference for this man. They don't even focus DeAndre Hopkins anymore. There's so many guys. He's throwing to guys you never heard of. There's a second tight end over there. Max Williams out there freaking crushing. Other tight ends you never heard of. Backup running back getting targets. Kirk, Moore, freaking AJ Green, the resurrection. This guy was dead man walking.
I love how you had the resurrection.
He was. He's a resurrection. I was like, he is decrepit. He's fine. He's fine. He's totally fine. He's AJ Green all over again. 6 targets, scoring touchdowns. Watch AJ Green score a touchdown in this game.
Yeah. I like it, brother. We're going to go all over on the Cardinals. We're loving the Cardinals. Arizona.
Yeah, you don't give the way that the Browns play. Even if they win the game, the fact that I'm getting 3, I'd love this to be 3.5. I want to buy the extra half point just to make sure I get the win. But they're not a team that wins by 10 points. They're running the football. They're conservative. They don't have, Odell Beckham is the only weapon on offense, and he's not a pass catching weapon. David Njoku fucking starring last week. I don't know what the hell that was about. But they don't have – Odell is not the same Odell. We haven't seen a good game from Odell. Not yet. Maybe this is it. But overall –
I'm going to Arizona.
Arizona for me as well.
I like it.
The only thing I really want to check here is to make sure it's not a donkey bet and make sure that like 99% of the public – because it seems so obvious.
I don't know. It's weird because I think first of all, people like Cleveland. And I just think on the road, I don't think Arizona has any cachet. I think they're undervalued.
Wait a minute. Did AJ Green dye his hair? Because
yeah.
He's got frosted tips? The fuck?
Do I got to pull out the pictures again?
It's a superpower for AJ Green. He got better with the frosted tips. I'm going to say go relax at the beauty parlor, AJ Green. It's fine for you. Zach Ertz? No. Zach Ertz, watch some fucking game film. AJ Green? You can go to the beauty parlor, my man. He needs to rest those old bones. Oh no, Odell. Oh no. No, Odell's had. Oh, I'm like, I thought he was talking about AJ Green. I'm like, wait, no, I know about Odell. Odell's always had the frosted tips, man. That's the problem for Odell. That's not helping him. I was gonna say if AJ Green's got his tips fucking died, fine. Whatever he's doing, keep doing it. He looks better. Something's better about him. But no, Odell, no. Odell's been frosting those tips for years.
All right. The next game, Dallas and New England. Cowboys laying 3.5 against the Patriots. I mean, I don't have any interest in this game. It's a fun game, whatever. Dallas is good, but I can't bet this game. I look at this game, I couldn't bet this game. There's other games I like. I think this is a potential trap game. I like Dallas. I would buy it down to 3 if I had to make a play. But
you can get it at 3. You ready for this?
Yeah. DraftKings has it.
DraftKings has the best line. You can get it at 3 points. Every other book is 3.5 right now. DraftKings, the only one at this moment. Let me make sure. I could check on the DraftKings app, but
I'm on it right now.
It, but
3.5.
Did they move it to 3.5 also?
Yeah.
Hang on. Yeah, it's 3.5 on there as well. There it is. Minus.
Yeah, but it's minus 105.
Yeah. So it just moved, and you might be able to tease this down, to -3, but that's a bummer.
No, well, listen. I mean, you could first of all make this a truism. Whatever you guys do, pull it down to a football number. Never bet 7.5 and never bet 3.5. All right. There's no need. You can lay the juice. It's not bad to lay the juice. How about the Geek? Yeah.
Beauty shop narrative, man. If you're spending time in a beauty parlor, you're not watching tape. You're not watching tape.
Yeah, but nowadays you have the phone. You can watch the iPad. You have devices.
No. You know what's going on with
like I can get my toes done and watch and watch tape.
He's drinking a Perrier. All right.
I don't know, cuz I think you might have to amend the beauty shop narrative. What do you think, Hunter? Does he have to amend it?
Hunter says we're reading too much into New England and that weird game against Tampa, that they still suck and that we should be over.
Listen, I like Dallas, but I'm not really anxious to run out and lay Cowboys on the road.
I think New England's bad. I think the Patriots are a bad team.
All right.
And the Cowboys, if they stick to the game plan, if they come in, they run the football, play some defense, they don't do the whole crazy 58 passes thing, I think they're going to win this game. Do I want to lay 3.5? Am I better laying 3? I'll pay the juice. I'll get it to 3, but I'm cool with the Dallas bet here at -3. Again, it's the road team. Don't love it, but I'm not. Maybe I'm undervaluing the Patriots a little bit, but I'm not high on the Patriots. I was shocked.
I don't like the Patriots either. Yeah. I just don't think it's that good of a game. I think it's a bad spot. First of all, non-conference on the road. It's never something that you should be jumping at. A non-conference favorite coming off a division game. It's just not a good spot. No, not to say if you put like my fingers like Joe Magozo on the line, I'm taking the Cowboys.
I'm not.
But I don't want to. But I don't want to bet the game.
Yeah, no finger bet. One thing though that does stand out to me, I think 51.5 is a pretty high total for this game.
Yeah,
I think that's too high. Yeah. If I'm going anywhere, I'm probably betting the under here. Like my thought is Dallas is going to come in and they'll do their run heavy thing that they've been doing. New England wants to run the football too. They're never going to open it up. They don't have anybody to throw to that they could open it up even if they wanted to. Trey Diggs probably on Aguilar, which will take him out of this game. Not that he's done anything. So their only passing game weapon, it's going to be, Hunter Henry and freaking Jacoby, the law firm, Myers. I mean, he's a 10-yard reception guy, like 10 yards tackle.
Yeah.
So, and then they're going to run it up the gut. against a pretty good defense with Damian Harris. I don't know how this. I think to me the best bet here is the under 51.5. Give me the under 51.5.
You got it. I think it's a good bet.
Yeah, that's the way I want to go here. I don't expect a lot of scoring out of the Patriots, and both teams slow the game down and do things that milk the clock. So I think
that's a good bet, man.
Yeah.
I do. I think it's a good bet. I think it's smart. All right, let's keep it going. Raiders and Denver, of course, the big news this week with the Gru dog. Dude, can I tell you? I love the Raiders in this game.
Love the Raiders.
Love
the Raiders.
First of all, Denver's banged up. Teddy's not that good. And Gruden, you're way overvaluing what Gruden means. In fact, those players are liberated. Give me the Raiders XXXL.
That's the XXL, guys. By the way, when I looked at the line and I was expecting the Raiders to be -3.5, and it's the Broncos -3.5.
I was too, dude.
It's the Broncos -3.5. I thought the
Raiders I was too, dude. I thought the same thing.
The Raiders have been good. Yeah, to me, the Raiders should be the favorite. I get it's a road game, but like the way that this line is, this is saying that the Broncos, on an even field, and if you talk to John Sensational Alessia, he tells you that this home advantage is no longer worth the full 3 points anyway. It should be more like 1.5. So they're overvaluing it. But even still, that tells you that if this was a neutral game, they're favoring the Broncos. Do we favor the Broncos? I think the Raiders are better than the Broncos. Are bad. Broncos are a bad team. They're not good. They're a bad
team.
I
completely agree. I think this is just a complete overreaction to Gruden.
We had this last week with the hate the face and Jacksonville, and I said the same thing. I said, don't worry about that narrative. The team doesn't give a fuck about the head coach. They're coming out, and they're going to play their best game. You think the Raiders give a fuck about John Gruden? They don't. As a matter of fact, zero shits given. Zero shits. You know what it is? It's like if you were at work and some coworker was like, arrested, and you find out he's a creep for something, and he's gone, and you're all gossip about it for about 20 minutes. Like, that motherfucker, I didn't even know he was a creep. Well, I'm fucking a little surprised. What a fucking asshole. And then you go on with your day. Like, the company doesn't fall apart because, like, some middle manager. It doesn't matter. Even if the CEO, you think if the CEO, if you're working for Merck or freaking Merrill Lynch or some shit, and the CEO has you don't care. You're going in, you're going to do your job. Like, I'm over here working in the back office, processing fucking TPS reports. I don't know what people who go to real job do, and I don't know.
TPS reports.
I
oh my god!
I don't know what people do. I'm just saying, what do they do? I'm writing my fucking reports.
TPS reports.
Yeah, I'm doing my fucking TPS reports. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I love that movie.
You know what I'm talking about?
I love that movie. I do. It's the best.
TPS reports. Did you do the reports? I got the reports. Take the fucking reports. I don't want to do the reports.
There was nothing better than when they were destroying the computer was the greatest.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. The slow-mo. My favorite actually part of that movie was when the dorkiest of them is driving to work in the commute.
Oh, and he's got the gangster rap.
I almost remember, I got the killer up inside of me. I don't talk to my mother because I talk to my diary. Like something like that. I actually remember the rap song.
Oh, that's the
best. I got the killer up inside of me.
You're the man, cuz.
Oh man, I can't believe I remember the rap.
Do you recall? Like I still recall. Like I can. The rats in the front room, roaches in the back, junkies in the alleyway with the baseball bats, trying to get away, but I can't get far. The man from Prudential repossessed my car.
Where I don't know though. What's that from? I don't
you
know.
You know that?
No.
Don't push me, cause I'm close to
I know that one.
edge.
Yeah. I'm
trying not to lose my head. Ha 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 ha. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
Probably 1985.
Probably
86, 87.
We're old.
Yeah. All right. What do we got? So we are all in XXL Chargers so far. We love the Raiders in this game.
And Arizona too. I like
getting 3.5. They're giving me the bonus half.
Yeah, I love the Raiders. Yeah.
Okay.
Love the Raiders. I don't know. The Sunday nighter, everybody's going to want to pick on it. Steelers -5 over the Seahawks.
Geno Smith.
I mean, you got to go Pittsburgh all day long.
Yes, you can't. Geno Smith.
I mean,
Pittsburgh defense at home, they're
he had
good.
a couple lucky drives, but I mean, they were playing prevent, and there's no way in the world.
No, can't trust Geno. As a matter of fact, Geno tricked people into thinking that he's maybe a little bit better than what we're going to see. Steelers very good defense. I don't love, Steelers haven't looked that great either.
No,
but they're going to be at home. Seattle defense not very good at all. So
this is a donkey game, though. I mean, you're going to watch it. It's the only game Sunday night, but that game stinks.
I'm not looking forward to watching that one.
Yeah,
that showdown is going to be disgusting.
Yeah,
like that showdown slate. It's going to be like that showdown slate is going to be like, all right, I'm going to play fucking Deontay Johnson as my captain, or Najee Harris as my captain. Get a little Deontay in there. Everybody's going to want to play DK Metcalf. He's not going to do shit. No. It's going to be one of those games where like you're like, oh man, or I just think that's a weird showdown where it's hard to see the the Seahawks being good at all with Geno Smith, especially on the road. So
I agree, man.
Yeah, it's not good. That's not good.
I'm completely with you.
Definitely can't bet. Now, Monday night.
Yeah, that's a good game, man.
That's a fun game.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a fun game. I think the Bills will slaughter them.
Well, Tennessee's defense is wretched.
Yeah, you can't have that defense against
them. But here's my one thing. Buffalo coming off a big spot. You finally win in Kansas City. I mean, if there's ever a letdown piece, I mean, that's it.
I think they keep it going. I think
maybe.
I get it. I mean, any team can let down.
See, here's the thing. Tennessee's O-line is bad, right? That's a bad offensive line. But it's Monday night. Did they rally? 54 is a lot of points, but the Bills played to the over.
Julio will be back. Did we do Houston Indy? We probably skipped it.
No, I skipped it, Alex. I'm sorry. I didn't even want to talk about it. I had no interest in it. I didn't even feel like mentioning Houston Indy. I purposely skipped it. I did. You know why? Because you shouldn't bet it.
You can't.
Alex, don't bet
minus 10. You cannot You can't bet a minus 10 with the Colts. They're not good enough. No. I think the only bet would be Houston in this game.
Yeah, don't bet
had to do it.
Like
or just skip it.
Yeah, skip. Like, see how we did it? We didn't even mention it. We just skipped it. Do that. Pretend like they don't even exist.
Listen, Davis Mills, 3 touchdowns last week.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see that coming.
Is he an NFL quarterback?
I don't think so. I watched him the week before. It looked horrendous.
I've never seen somebody look so bad. And then 3 touchdowns. A friend of mine calls me up, and as a buddy of mine who's really good at DFS, so we talk every week. And he's like, oh, I got my Davis Mills lineups are kicking ass. I'm like, you fucking played Davis Mills, you maniac? He's like, yeah, I played him. I played him last week. He's cheap. I'm like, you motherfucker. Davis Mills just threw another touchdown. The problem was he threw it to names. He was touchdowns to guys you never heard of.
How did he do? Did he get anything good?
That it wasn't enough. Even the day and that was not enough to take down a Millie or anything like that. But Davis Mills put up a great score.
Yeah.
The problem was he threw touchdowns to names you've never heard of.
Yeah.
Like it didn't go to Brandon Cooks and whoever else is on that team. Trust me, I can't even name them now. And I stared like Deontay Harris. I could even get it wrong. Just random player names that were, the WR2 and 3 are hurt. You're getting like the 4, 5, 6 guys out there. Guys, you have no idea who these guys are. They're just running out names. And Brandon Cooks didn't do any of it. So the problem was if you stacked Mills, you had him with Brandon Cooks, and it didn't work because Cooks didn't do anything. It was these other guys.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I had one college play for you. Oh, I got it. LSU plus 11.5 against Florida. Write that down.
LSU. All right, here we go.
Plus 11.5.
Football, so
I know you don't, but I'm just telling you.
Tell me to bet it. I'm going to bet it. LSU.
Bet it. Plus 11.5.
Take the points. I usually think, is it better to bet favorites in college football?
It depends. I mean, also, look, did you like Alabama as a favorite last week?
Doesn't always work out. Doesn't always work out.
That was amazing, that game.
Guys,
that was amazing.
LSU. There you go. Plus 11
Plus 11.5.
That's your college football bet of the show. I'm down with that.
And one more.
I know nothing about that.
And one more. It's a big number. It's a big favorite. But I just love this team. They're the best team in the country by far. 6-0 Georgia against 6-0 Kentucky. Take Georgia minus 23.
Minus 23. There you go. That's some college football
all right.
spread.
Take Georgia minus 23. LSU plus 11.5.
There we go.
That's it, my brother.
All right. That'll do it for the Wise Guys.
I love on Wednesday nights.
This is always fun. Always informative. I've got my bets. I got my.
What did you have for dinner tonight? Did you have the chicken?
Tonight? No, tonight I was healthy.
Lunch,
My wife made dinner.
Okay.
I try to have my little one. I wanted to have her come in here to say hello. The biscuit, the one who had the biscuit.
I love the biscuit.
Say hello.
It's awesome.
No, tonight I had some salmon. Nice, healthy dinner.
Nice, good.
Yeah, a little. I left the house for the once. I leave the house. I try to leave the house once a week.
Nice.
Went out today for like half an hour.
Did you?
Went out.
Where'd you go?
I got a flu shot, so I had to go and get the flu shot. So then I stopped by the supermarket on the way home. I'll tell you what I got. I got some fish for tonight. That was for my wife. But the better part was I picked up prime porterhouse steaks. Prime black Angus prime porterhouse steaks.
That's nice.
They were on sale.
Let me ask you a question real quick on the subject of porterhouse steaks, because my wife made it last Sunday. She made the porterhouse steaks. Now it was so good that she does it the bed of onions, right? Like it's just a beautiful. And I like my steak bloody, right? So I
porterhouse got to be medium rare.
Okay, thank you. So at the end of the meal, I'm gnawing on the bone, right? Like, next thing you know, I'm looking at the dish, right? And there's the pool of blood. It's not blood, but it's a pool of blood, right?
Juice.
Yes.
Juice. You didn't drink the juice, did you? I'm going to lose my shit right now.
So I went like this. I went,
no.
And I drank the blood, and I had I still had a nice glass of wine left.
Oh my God.
I had like a half a bottle of wine. I like my wine. And I chased it with the wine.
Oh my God.
And the blood juice with the wine was outrageous.
No, stop. I can't even.
Dude, I'm at home. I'm not at a steakhouse. I wouldn't do that at a restaurant, but I was home. And I couldn't resist it. My wife looked at me like, "Why?
Lop it up." No, it's a little bit. That's unusual.
I don't want the bread. I don't do the bread with the steak juice. No, with the blood. I don't like that.
Juice?
Nah, listen. Every once in a while, the bread with the tomato sauce that I like, but
with the gravy, the Sunday
thank
gravy.
you with the gravy, right? But the blood with the wine.
I've never when you said it was there, I was like, oh my God, he's gonna drink the fucking.
Yeah, I drank it. Yeah, I did.
He drank the blood juice.
It was just.
I've never even
incredible.
It never occurred to me.
There was little bits of onion in there. It was just delicious. And when you chase it with the wine, to die for.
So many people who are watching this are gonna fucking drink the blood juice now.
Do it.
You gotta try it.
Delicious.
Now I'm gonna try. Now
highly recommended. That's what I'm saying. You got to do it. It's really not. It's not blood. It's myoglobin.
It's juice. It's juice.
Right,
it's not.
exactly.
It's not blood. There's no blood in there. But
it's a protein. It's just red, but it's delicious, man.
Did not occur.
A little olive oil. It's just
all
mixed in.
How was the steak cooked? You put a little what? She got some
medium rare
onions in there. A little sautéed onions.
Yeah, so she sautés the onions, and it's delightful. Yeah, Ray.
He said, "Hell no" to the blood juice.
Come on, man. You haven't lived. I'm telling you,
John. We did do Buffalo, Tennessee, and we both. So Ant says possible letdown spot for Buffalo. I'm on the Buffalo side. I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger on a bet, but I think they're going to come out with another win and keep rolling because this Tennessee defense is very bad. So that's
it is. And look, Tennessee's O line is not good either, but it's a bad spot. I mean,
I don't think.
Listen,
by the way, I don't think
you want to win money. Honestly, you want to win money at the end of the year, do two things. Download the Sharp app and please don't force plays. Betting Buffalo is a force play. You go, wow, it's Monday night. It's the only game. I want to bet the game. If you're going to bet it really small because you want a little action. But I'm telling you that that's a forced bet.
One thing that I like to do, Ant, in these games where I don't feel like I need to bet the spread, I'll only pull the trigger maybe 3 games a
Yeah,
week
that's
against the spread.
smart.
Just to be
Yeah.
clear, like when you're XXL bets,
Mhm.
we'll go through all the games, but I'll only pull the trigger on 2 or 3 games every week. But
Yeah.
what I don't mind, like if I'm watching that game, I'll take a look. We don't have player props out for that game yet.
Right.
You don't have it. But what you could do is you go through the props on the game, start to think about things like, this isn't the best spot, let's say, for Derrick Henry. Maybe I can take a look at some of the unders on him. They're going to be really high. I'm going to take a look at, maybe this is the Stephon Diggs breakout game because we know that that the Titans don't have anybody that they could really put to slow him down.
Yeah.
How about on the Titans side, the return of Julio Jones? Maybe after the disappointment last week of A.J. Brown not doing anything, and Julio Jones maybe comes back, maybe he draws Tre'Davious White. Maybe you can get A.J. Brown on the rebound when no one wants him. So I'll look at some of the props. They're not out
I agree.
yet.
I like that. I
Yeah,
like
they're
that
not out
strategy.
yet. We can't talk about on a Wednesday night props for a Monday game. I don't have them. I'll talk about them on Monday when we do the showdown breakdown. We'll take a look at that. But overall, sometimes bet a prop on a game. Like if we
Totally.
could figure out how a game's going to go, see if you could figure out some props on it that make a little sense.
Game
And
script is everything. Please look at matchups. Like you guys look, you're going to bet football. Make it your business to know the sport inside and out. So you could look at matchups, look at some key injuries, kind of match it up. So if you know game script, and look on the app, it's got all the props you want to take a look at. That's a good way to profit. I agree with you. And also, never bet more than never lay more than 3.5 or 7.5.
I just want to
And
show you. Look how
yeah,
cool this is. I'm gonna see if I can show it. I don't know if everybody knows this because we added the props. We added all the props to the app a couple weeks ago. I have another way of displaying it, but when you click on a game, when you go to the game center, and I'm gonna pull one up here and I'm gonna show you this. Like Tampa Philly, check this out. I'm not sure that the screen will show this, but hey, let's see here, right? If you go to the game center, first you've got your line movement chart. Now up top right here, you could click on the props. Check it out. Look at all this. Every prop for this
wow,
game. Now I could just
that's
open them up.
fabulous, man.
Boom. Everything you want. Leonard Fournette. Here we go. Here's all the different. So here's the Fournette to score 3+ touchdowns. Look how different the numbers are. You can't see it, but like every version of every prop is right here to score a touchdown. Fournette, right? FanDuel. Here we go. Fournette. Caesars +100. BetMGM +125. Every other book. Here's a FanDuel -120. Look how different this is. So if you want to bet, I can't even show this on the screen. If you want to bet Fournette tomorrow night to score a touchdown, if you went to FanDuel, you're paying -120. But BetMGM is giving you +120. Do you know what a difference that is?
Yeah, no, it's huge. That's huge.
-120 to +125. It's right here. It gives you the info. Now I know I got to go to BetMGM and fuck it. If I didn't have an account at BetMGM, I don't care. They give me a $1,000 risk-free bet, like whatever it is when I sign up. But I'm going to bet at BetMGM, take +125, not -120. That's fucking retarded. Like that's ridiculous.
Exactly.
And we don't ever want to do that. So it's really important to use that. Not a lot of people know it's there. You just click on props in the game center. Every prop is there. I'm so proud of it. And I feel like
Should
people don't
be.
know
It's a
there.
great tool.
Yeah.
Again, it's a great tool. And we talk about this again with the app. The tools, you need to have them. You need to have a toolkit, man. You got to have it.
100%.
Sharp app has it, man. That's
All
why
right, my man.
please download it.
They got it. These guys got it. The ones watching the Wise Guys.
Well, those are our people.
There's our people. All right, my man. This was awesome. Again, love
Thank you.
Wednesday nights. Appreciate you guys.
Hey, guys, thank you for hanging with us, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck this week. Darren, you can watch from the beginning. It's all right. 1.5x pro tip. Catch the whole thing about 35, 40 minutes. Here we go. All right, that'll do it for the Wise Guys. For Ant, for myself, the Geek, A and G. Gargano and the Geek. Wise Guys, we'll see you guys next time, Wednesday night, 10 p.m. with all the bets. Good luck this week, everybody.